Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sunesha and this is Swine Radio. So I'm in Sweden here, and of course, the Swine Radio is not Swine Radio without the swine. And he has followed me from all the way from Cyprus. So Swine, give us a oink. And there we go. That's proof he's here. But you maybe doesn't trust me. Yeah, it has been quite a while since I did a Swine Radio, and I think I will start doing these kind of shows again, because it's an excellent format for me to practice my English and talking ability. I think my talking ability, can you say that? Or my oratory ability, my rhetoric has become better over this year of YouTubing. Yeah. I just have to tell you, it's probably like just Piri Piri and Pred and Barani, and sometimes Chad from United States that's listen to Swine Radio. But yesterday, I kind of get surprised. I was into my YouTube statistics and I checked, and someone subscribed on my first Swine Radio episode. That was quite interesting. I didn't thought I would never get a Swine Radio. It's kind of more a show for my friends and some couple of subscribers on my channel. It's not my most popular format, I guess. Speaking of YouTube, one thing I've learned all these years, I talk like I'm a fucking experienced YouTuber. No, I'm not. I've been on YouTube for almost 1 year and 4 months or something in that direction. And I've learned you have no power over how many people you get to subscribe. Sometimes things go well, sometimes it's just you are a slave to the algorithms of YouTube, and they are not pushing small YouTube channels to the front. But in some ways I have been in the front for some areas, and I think, I actually see the trend, the videos that I'm most proud of are the videos that go best. Yeah, that's a boring subject. I'm actually over with YouTube statistics. I kind of do YouTube because it enriches my life in a nice way. It has been bring a whole other level of gaming. I'll really enjoy the gaming for the public, and even that I never probably will be big or small, and it really doesn't matter. I enjoy it. Yeah. I was read a review of Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I'm not sure how many people, but let me recap. I was worried about the Mirror's Edge Catalyst open world format, and I really didn't believe in that. And when I read the review, it's kind of, they'll put collectibles all over the world and so on, but you kind of know the guys that has played Mirror's Edge or the earlier Mirror's Edge from 2008. You kind of are always running, and there is this mechanic that's called momentum. The faster you run, the longer you run, and then you have to stop and pick up stuff. That really doesn't fit into the Mirror's Edge world, and it's really weird. They had placed out time trials over an open world, and you can travel from them. But I kind of enjoy the easier time trials and speed runs. It's much more convenient to have those in a menu instead of you have to travel around to activate them. Or it's just it was as I suspected, that I just dotted checkbox off open world, and I think this time around I got the impression from the reviews I've read that they are forcing you to fight a lot more. And one of the things I really enjoy with Mirror's Edge is you can actually finish the game without fighting. There is a couple of small boss fighters, but that kind of makes sense because Faith is cornered into a corner and she has to fight. But fighting, I think they are trying to bring more action in there, and this really does need it. Mirror's Edge was a unique and special game. It didn't really need those common features that we have in all other games. What Mirror's Edge was is fantastically cool racing game where you race on the rooftops, and yeah. They have the good concept, and they have just fleshed it out just to somehow. But yeah, I shouldn't judge. I haven't played the game myself, but all my fears was rightfully justified as Mirror's Edge. Yes, they changed it in the way that I didn't enjoy. Yeah, those guys that know me more, I used to live in Cyprus, and I'm gonna go back in Cyprus in October, I believe, but for now on, I'm in Sweden. The difference is not that big for you guys, but it's a cool, interesting difference, because when I lived in Cyprus, I got this small impression that I was tall. Yeah, you know, I'm quite short for Sweden in 175 centimeters. Let me just check what is this in inches for my imperial friends in the name. Yeah, that's 68 inches. You probably doesn't say 68.8 inches. Yeah, but that was what I can Google from. Yeah, so when I was in Cyprus, I was almost taller than everyone, and it's probably more that the Swedish people are quite tall, but yeah, so when I come back to Sweden and I meet all the Swedes, I'm short again, and it's a strange feeling. And another thing I've noticed while living abroad in Cyprus is that we Swedish people are, of course, very modest and people. So when we're talking about car colors, I was just walking outside today and I noticed a thing that I never noticed before in my life. But 95% of all the cars in Sweden are either gray, white, black, or red for the brave ones, and they have blue cars. That's the only dark blue cars. We're not talking cool blue cars. So everyone had these modest colors on the things, and I think that is a thing Swedish people. We kind of have this you should not think you're better than someone else thinking, and I think it's for we have been a socialist country for a very long while, so it's kind of this individuality that you maybe think you're better than anyone. You can be better than other people, but you should not say it, or other people should not say it either. It's kind of you can't. It's a typical Swedish thing, yeah. And about the cars, and it kind of fits in there. You don't want to have a car that is different or draws attention to yourself. Yeah, so it's really weird in that way. Yeah, and so when I came to Sweden, I had this problem because I only had a very, very old computer. So I had to, but speaking of gaming and computers, I had to build myself a new computer. And the computer I had in Cyprus was an i7 that I was using at 3.6 gigahertz, and I bought. I thought I was going to try out AMD CPUs because, as a content creator, and the more cores you have, it's very important, or it makes a great difference with many cores in content creation. In computer gaming, you can probably use one of the cheaper Intel one with a very fast clock frequency, you can go use every game, and you can have just like 2 cores with hyper-threading, and you have a very good gaming system. But when you're doing content creation, the more cores, the happier it is, because it's a very core intensive and it makes use of everything. And I'm very impressed with my AMD 8350. It's great budget choice for content creation because it actually works as fine as my Intel i7 at 3.6 GHz. That's fucking fantastic because it's probably half the price of it. And for content creation, and I was a little bit worried it shouldn't catch up with the game and so on, but I've quickly discovered with some research before I bought it that I usually play at 60 frames, or I often cap my games to 60 frames. So it will, my A350, I don't own a game where my AMD will hold me back. And mostly when I looked at the only time it could make a big difference was like in Total War games that I don't play, where it's very CPU heavy, and there you can actually make it. But for most people, I think that is actually a very good content, a good creator body's choice. That will make a great difference, because you will have 8 cores, and they are not that far away from an Intel i7 actually. And I'm talking about the cheaper i7s here. Of course, the newest one are faster, but it's not like it's 200 euros faster. But yeah. Let's speak a little bit about the games I play right now. I play XCOM 2 on my channel, and XCOM 2 has met my expectation very great. I really enjoy it. I feel I've played this for a couple of months. I don't have time to play so much, but I've played through the Commander, and I'm playing on Legend now on the channel, and one offline game. And so far the game is really fun, and I enjoy it, and it's probably because of my viewers Barani and Frank Germany that follow that series. But that is one of my favorite series to do, because it's really fun to be a little bit creative and use my brain for something at the free time, for something fun. Yeah. So I really enjoy XCOM 2. I feel it's a good successor for XCOM. And the first XCOM game, even today with its standards, is a very well-made game. That is a lot of fun today also. And I actually think they managed graphically. I liked how they made graphic this time. You have a lot of customization of your soldiers, and that is what makes XCOM 2 or XCOM games so funny, is your soldiers. So the more options you have for your soldiers, the more fun I think it is. It's all about the soldier story and how they survive through the game, and I think they have made it excellent. My favorite game so far this year. No doubt about that. And some games I look forward for, I will probably buy, of course, the new Hitman game as soon as they have released all the episodes or missions or whatever you want to call it. Of course, I'm gonna play Hitman. Hitman is probably one of my favorite stealth franchises. I really enjoy. Another game I'm actually thinking about buying ahead is Deus Ex. Deus. I have no clue how to pronounce that, because it's a Latin word, and when you have a Latin word, it should pronounce it in English. Yeah, Deus Ex Machina Divided. I'm probably actually gonna buy it ahead, because I found on a cool site where you can buy code, and I can buy it for €30, and that is a good price. And of course, I look forward for Dishonored 2. And speaking of YouTube statistic, my Dishonored play series, the playlist has 1,000 views, and that is like a super record. It's like 5 times more than any other playlist I had on my channel. So that's really fun that people enjoy it. I really enjoyed recording that game. So it's fun that people seem to like it also. Yeah, and all the hardware that is coming now. Oh man, people are people, and people are stupid. The more people they are, the dumbest people are always somehow rise up to the top, and you see them and irritate about them. We are in the change of a new GPU generation, and AMD and NVIDIA fans, they are going for the jugular. They are going for the kill. It's really interesting, as I'm back in PC gaming, and I thought only it was console people that was so brand loyal to a brand, but PlayStation and Sony people are also awful in that way. But it seems like you can even argue about a computer part in your computer. And I think it's really interesting that people get so worked up about me. For me, it is more about I'm more price conscious. I set up my requirements, then I try to find a product that match my requirements for the cheapest possible price. I wouldn't buy an Intel CPU just because I have an Intel CPU before. I will always compare it to AMD. At the current moment, if you're not into content creation, I probably think Intel CPU is probably the best gaming choice. But for content creation, I think AMD bigger CPUs are really great, but now we are in a new graphic cards generation, and I see they have managed to shrink the chip size, and that means a good more power for a smaller size. It means less leakage and so on, so you can get higher clock speeds and so on. It is both in the CPU and GPU that are in a beginning of the new generation, and that is kind of fun because people are already arguing about things that doesn't exist. It just exists as a marketing campaign, and they are saying that AMD will do that car and it will be faster than the Nvidia card. They shout at each other on the forums. They are talking about things to be instead of things that exist now. Probably right now, Nvidia, if you really need one to buy some expensive GPU, Nvidia is their new Nvidia cards are fantastic. But I was speaking about this because there is a new Xbox around the corner. Xbox, I have been loyal to them because I've used them for many years and I have a great history for them with achievements and so on. But I think it's too early for a new generation of Xbox, and I don't see myself buying it because I feel the console, if we're gonna go upgrade every 3 years, that's about a good update for a computer. So this time around, I will probably just save my money for a new GPU instead of a new Xbox. And the biggest argument for me is a cost thing. I'm not a very rich man, and PC has way cheaper games than consoles. Consoles can cost me €70 at release. I can find PC games for 35. As I told you before, I found Deus Ex Mankind Divided for €30. And it's not released yet, and that is like half price of a console game. So I see myself playing a lot more on my PC, as it is more cost-efficient platform. As soon it is when you, I have the advantage to have usually buy good computer parts to my computer, so it's often more about the GPU for me. So I don't need to build a new computer from scratch. But if you're gonna build a console console equivalent performance computer, it maybe will be more expensive when you think about speakers, keyboards and mouses and screens that everyone forgets you need when you need to play on something. Yeah. But for me, I would probably be more on PC in the future. I see myself in the future actually. I've started to think about maybe to buy. I have a Nvidia GTX 960 GPU. It works very well for what I do. It meets all my requirements to play games. But in future, I can see myself actually buying one level up. Or I think I will actually. About 1 year actually buy what I would otherwise buy a new console. So yeah, I think in the long run, but it's mostly the graphics I can live without, but the cheap games. I have bought so many games for almost nothing, and I can't. I see myself saving like I'm saving like 200 euros per year just because PC gaming is cheaper, and I rarely. Even when I bought XCOM 2 for a full price, that was only 50 euros, so it can't compete. The prices are. That means I can buy a lot more games cheaper, and that's why I'm with PC. Not because it's the best, or I don't know what is the best. I don't really fucking care. I want my requirement to be met, and they are met. And I've seen myself buying a better GPU because it would benefit for my video things, and I managed to use. I would probably stay with NVIDIA just because I have a command line hacky thing that can encode my videos like 4 times faster than I can encode something on the CPU, and that's NVIDIA specific, and that saves me a lot of time because my computer generally I render a video per day, so it saves me a lot of time. Another thing that I really like on PC, there is this thing called Reshade, RE Shade. This is a very cool plugin software, or what you can call it. It's kinda, you put it on your inside your game directory, and it will emulate. It will change the colors, give you contrast. It can sharpen your picture, give you new colors, give you control over the colors. It can even add screen ambient occlusion, or how it's pronounced. You know, those shadow thingy. When you see like it's darker in the corner, it adds a lot of the feel of 3D generation. It even has that. This is really cool software because you can more or less. I have not yet seen a game that it doesn't work. The only requirement it has to be DirectX 9 or higher to work, so it won't work on every game, but most of the games I play are DirectX 9 or higher, so it works really well. And if you haven't checked it out, you can check it out at reshade.me. Yeah, it's a really cool software. It can be a little bit weird to get used to, but it's really cool, and it can really add a lot of I really love that you can tweak the colors and stuff. That is a thing, probably my favorite software, gaming software today. It's more important than everything else. And you can do other cool stuff like FXAA or SMAA anti-alias if your game doesn't have that, or for example you have a game that is hard to run, you can get cheap anti-alias techniques. So it's a really cool software. Yeah, I'm speaking about. I'm done with my list here. Yeah, I'm playing Borderlands the pre-sequel with Barani on the channel. If I'm gonna recommend one thing, what I'm doing right now, of course my XCOM 2 series, but it's really fun because we play it co-op and we release every Saturday, so I would really recommend to play that, see that, yeah. And I think that is good enough for this Swine Radio. I have recapped a bit what I think about stuff going around in the gaming world, and I've told you a little bit about Sweden and the typical YouTube stuffy. So that was everything, my dear friends, and as always, thank you for listening.